What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys will help us get there. Alright, so I've been waiting for this ever since Gina Carano's firing, and that was to hear Bill Burr's point of view on it. Bill Burr, for those of y'all that aren't familiar with Bill Burr is someone that usually brings clarity to every situation. He can somehow push past the BS that is this world and all of this cancel culture, not saying things as it is. He don't care. He just usually just comes out and states clear facts and brings some, I don't know, some, like I said, clarity or intelligence to somehow this stupidity that is cancel culture. So I've been a little bit, I will say, I've been a little bit disappointed that it's taken him so long really to make a definitive statement on this. And I'll admit, I'm just a little bit disappointed that he didn't go further enough in his statement once he did come out with it. But let me just go ahead and read y'all what he said about the situation, and then y'all come up with y'all's own ideas of whether or not it was enough or whether he needs to come out and just really be Bill Burr and say what he thinks. It says right here, on a recent episode of the Bill Burr podcast, Burr somewhat cautiously gave his thoughts on the firing of his Mandalorian co-star, Gina Carano. He says it's a weird time unless she did some truly horrible shit or said overly racist shit. I don't know. I think there is just too many channels. And then you got to do sensational shit. I don't know what the F it is. I'm on the effing show. Now I got to watch what the F I say. She was an absolute sweetheart, super nice effing person. And you know, whatever, and somehow someone will take this video and they'll make me say something else and try to get rid of my bald action figure. It's how it is out there. It's effing crazy times. People just waiting, laying in the weeds. Now, what he was talking about in all this was, they were like, the other people that was on this podcast was saying, you know what, they canceled. They didn't even give her action figure time for to really get out there and see if it sold or anything. And usually that's a big deal. It's a huge deal because there's been shows that have had really good ratings that have got canceled because their action figures or their merchandise just doesn't sell. So it's not crazy. And I tell you, a good example is Teen Titans. Teen Titans was a cartoon that did not that did well in the ratings, the original one, and really got canceled because of poor merchandise sales. So when it comes to Gina Carano, them not even giving her action figure a chance to go out there and sell, then that just means right off the bat they didn't care about if it sold, if it made them $1 billion. They didn't care. They just wanted her gone. But I feel like when it comes to Bill Burr, I feel like yes, he did, say, hey, you know what? She's a nice person. She didn't get what she deserved. But I'll tell you where I had a little bit of problem with Bill Burr's reaction to this. And it wasn't in what he said in this article, but it was something he said on the podcast that really kind of set me off a little bit. And that is when he's like, oh, well, yeah, she shouldn't have made that comparison. And, that was wrong of her in that way. And I was like, whoa. Bill Burr's wrong on that. Because people somehow get caught up in the comparison itself, like who was in that comparison, and less about the uh, the importance of what she was trying to say. She was trying to say that we're going down a real slippery slope, and that if we don't do something to change, who knows where this will go. You know, when you have neighbor hating neighbor because of who they vote for, you have families that have, and we've heard about it for the last 5 years, families, children who do not, who will not even have anything to do with their parents, and vice versa because of who they voted for. That's crazy. That's crazy. As someone who has children, myself, it doesn't matter who my kids vote for. Doesn't. Probably won't even come up in my thoughts of communicating with them when they're adults. That won't even be something that'll even probably be brought up. Because at the end of the day, I don't care. I love my kids too much. Hopefully they love me too much than to care who I vote for. Like, I mean, this is crazy. It's crazy. But that's what's happened, and that's what she was touching on. And I kind of feel like Bill Burr, even though, yes, he did defend her to a certain extent, Bill Burr should have said, he shouldn't have made that comment. He should have been like, hey, man, her firing was wrong. What she said wasn't offensive. I see where she was going with it. Maybe try to explain it out there and get through all this media garbage that's trying to paint it in a different light than what it really was supposed to have been about. Instead, he kind of gave himself a lifeline out there to these SJW people that are constantly trying to get people fired, where they can be like, oh, I understand where y'all are coming from, but she's a nice person. Well, he should have been like, you know what, screw y'all guys for trying to fire this nice girl that really didn't mean things in the way that y'all are trying to portray her as. Just because y'all don't like who she probably voted for doesn't mean that she should have been fired. That's what he should have come out and said. Bill Burr usually has the guts to say things like that. I felt like in this instance he was a little bit too concerned about getting canceled off The Mandalorian himself. He even said it. He says, now I gotta watch what I say. But you know what? He should have been like, you know what, Disney, Lucasfilm, what y'all did that was wrong. Don't care if I get fired. I got a lot of money already. I don't need y'all. Y'all can fire me. I'll make a lot more money with y'all firing me. Just like Gina Carano is going to make a lot more money because they fired her. So, I mean, he could have gone out there and said that. He didn't. So, yeah, I am a little bit disappointed in you, Bill Burr. I expect more out of you simply because you've given us so much hope in the past. Because, you know, every time that there's some kind of controversy out there that everybody gets so muddled down in identity politics, you come out there and you're like, no. That's stupid. Like, I mean, sometimes that's all we need to hear sometimes is someone just coming out there and telling us, you know what? That's dumb. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Don't go down that route. Like, that's like we're taking our eye off the ball here. We're off chasing after these little things that don't matter, and instead we should be unifying around this or something along those lines. What everybody, whether you're an actor, actress, just person out there, anyone that's listening to this right now, you should not be in favor of canceling anybody. If you are, you got some serious problems because you're not understanding, you're not looking at the long-term goal of things. You're not looking at our long-term outcome, I should say. You're thinking short-term. You're like, I disagree with this person. I wish they were never on air. Well, you know, we've all kind of had that thoughts to a certain extent, but we don't follow through on them. We don't go up there and try to cancel people. The reason why we don't is because we don't want to be canceled ourselves. We should all remember that. Anytime that you disagree with somebody, you think, oh man, I hate their opinions on something. Maybe think, you know what? I hate your opinions on it, but I'll fight for your right to say it. Like that's the best way to go at that. Not be like, you know what? I don't like your opinions, and I'm just going to silence anything that you say, or any ideas that you may have, or I'm cancel anybody that's ever been around you. Like, that's what's going to happen, guys. And if we don't stand up and take, even Bill Maher. Look, Bill Maher, I disagree with Bill Maher on 99% of the issues. But Bill Maher has guts. So he gets out there and he says whatever he thinks with it. He don't care if the cancel culture comes for him. He don't care. He says things as it is because he realizes, hey, you know what? This isn't a left versus right thing. This is just a human being thing, and human beings should have the right to be free to say what they want, to do as they please. And for government or big companies or corporations should not have the right to silence them or to fire them because those companies or those organizations or those political parties or whatever they may be disagree with that. That's Bill Maher's opinion on it. That's personally my opinion on it. I know that's probably Bill Burr's opinion on it, but I feel like Bill Burr right now is just holding back a little too much. And I'm a little disappointed by that, but you know what? I am actually glad that he did come out there and he, at least told a little bit about his thoughts on Gina Carano and about, how he felt about her as a person, and, maybe made it clear to the people that were trying to cancel her, she's not a bad person. So what you did was wrong. You should feel bad about it because, she's actually a really nice person, really nice human being, and you just canceled her. Again, I can rant on this all day long. I'm sick and tired of Disney. I'm sick and tired of Lucasfilm. When it comes to Disney Plus, like I said a million times on these videos, my daughter watches these Disney programs, and they're always talking about strong women, and rising above and all this really good, noble kind of ways. But then at the end of the day, I can't help but be cynical about it. And I know my daughter's going to be cynical about it too, because she's going to be like, wait a second, you just said we should do this and be this, and then you turn around and when there's a woman that doesn't fit your narrative, you go and fire and try to cancel her completely. Like, that's not empowerment. That's what this whole cancel culture is all about. It's not about empowerment. It's about empowering themselves, because a lot of these people that do all this canceling are really shallow inside. They're missing something inside. And it doesn't take, I don't have to be a shrink to know these things. I think we all know these things, that these people that are really angry inside are trying to bring it out to the world around them, and trying, because they don't like themselves in a lot of ways, they're trying to, take down anybody around them when it comes to that, whether it be their careers or whatever. And I feel like too often, instead of us going, you know what, we're going to have more of a hopeful approach to life, to the people around us, too often we allow those hateful people to wreck lives that should never have been wrecked in the first place. That's a cowardice on our part. That's a cowardice on all of us. Not just Bill Burr, but it's cowardice on my part. Because if I have here on Rants, we have a platform to be able to say what we think on a lot of ways. So if I don't come out there and I don't say this is wrong and we need to stand up to these people, then I'm just as guilty as what anybody else is that's not standing up for freedom of speech and freedom to really believe what you want without being canceled by these horrible Twitter mobs. But I mean, guys, we all can help on this situation. We all need to do better. Bill Burr, I wish you would have come out a little bit stronger, but I do appreciate that you came out at least and said at least a little bit of it. Gave a little bit of an image of what Gina Carano really is as a person. And maybe, those people that have been a part of trying to get her canceled or were on the fence about it maybe can read your comments about her and been like, you know what, that was really wrong. So maybe it'll actually do some good. I'm hoping it will. Again, we should all be hopeful people. We should not get down in the mud with these people. We should rise above that stuff. That's all I'm saying, guys. Let's not fall prey to these people that are hateful inside and just want to hate on other people. Let's instead take a more hopeful approach. Um, even wish these people the best, but don't get down in the mud and sling it with them. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it completely about life in general. But as always, guys, let me know what y'all think. Do you think Bill Burr's comments were strong enough? Or do you believe that maybe he could have gone a step further in taking up for his co-star, Gina Carano? Let me know in the comments section. And as always, guys,